Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here with another Make It Monday. How are you today, my friends? I hope you had a fabulous weekend. I have a super cute, adorable, fun, yummy little treat to share with you today. So I was in the grocery store the other day and I came across these pumpkin pie Kit Kats. What? They're from Walmart is where I found them. Now, I don't know if you can find them other places, but sometime, I think in the spring, I had found some lemon flavored ones, and they were in a bag like this, and I got them and tried them, and oh my goodness, they were literally the best thing I've ever tasted in my entire life. So when I saw the pumpkin pie ones, I thought, I've got to try those. And so I wanted to make a fun, cute little treat holder with them. So this one, as you can see, holds 2 of those adorable little Kit Kats. And this is just a sweet, fun little simple box. As you can see, it's just a 1-piece with the flap. So let's go ahead and get started on what you're going to need, okay? First things first, I am using the Beautiful Autumn Stamp and Punch bundle. And I absolutely love this set because it's a 2-step Stampin' set, which I love first of all. And it has some absolutely gorgeous sentiments to it. And I love that it has the coordinating punches. Now, as you can see, I've made a cute little box to put the punches in. And this is going to be a freebie for you, for anyone who doesn't already have the bundle and would like to purchase it. I will throw in the tutorial for this cute little box right here, so you'll be able to make your own box to store your punches in. So of course you'll need the Stamp and Punch bundle. You're also going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 5 inches by 6 inches. So I have Cherry Cobbler here, and then I'm using the new Gilded Autumn Designer Series papers. So you need 1 piece that measures 1 7/8 by 2 7/8. You need 2 pieces that measure 3/8 of an inch by 2 7/8. And then you need 2 pieces that measure 1 7/8 by 3/8 of an inch. Now, I'm going to have all of these measurements over on my blog, so you can find the link down below. And it will have also the drawing diagram, so don't worry about writing all of these measurements and everything down. I also have a scrap piece of mint macaron, which is 2 1/4 by 1/2 of an inch. And then I'm also going to be using a scrap of very vanilla cardstock for my sentiment. And I'm using the classic label punch to help me with that sentiment piece, as you can see here. Now, the inks that I'm using are Cajun Craze. And then I'm using crumb cake ink for the base of the acorn, soft suede ink for the cap, and then early espresso for the outline. Alright, so you'll need all of those if you're going to do the project as I show here. Okay, so let me get this stuff out of the way here just a little bit, and we will get started. Get all these little bits and pieces. Okay, so here is our base. It's 5 inches by 6 inches again, and this is our template. It's just going to sit here. You can see how we're going to put that together. Okay, so you're going to need your scoreboard. Let me get mine out here. All right, and we're going to start with the 5-inch side at the top. And we're just going to score 1/2 and 1 inch on each side. So I'm going to go from this side because it's easier, but you can do either way. So if you're following with me, it would be 4.5 inches and 4 inches. And then I'm just going to flip it over and do 4.5 inches and 4 inches again. So now I have the same on both sides. All right. And then from here, we're going to turn it a 1/2 turn so that we're on the 6-inch side now. And we're going to score at 1/2 an inch. So 1/2 inch, 2.5 inches, 3 inches, 5 inches, and 5.5 inches. All right, so we've got all of our scoring done. We can get the board out of the way. Now the first thing you're going to notice is that there's 1 long rectangle section on the left and 2 rectangle sections on the right. Now that is an important thing to make note of because that will help you establish which direction you're needing to be with the template. Okay, so on the edge that has just 1 little rectangle, we'll start there. Go ahead and turn your paper so that the 5-inch side is facing you. And you'll notice that on the left and the right, there are the same marks, okay? So on each end, we're gonna cut that first square and the connected rectangle away on this side and this side. So we'll just go ahead in between the squares, in between those rectangles, and then cut them off. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing over here on the left. So between the squares, between the rectangles, and cut them off. All right. Okay, now we're going to move along and we're going to turn our paper to the side so that we've got the 6-inch side facing us. So let's go ahead and turn our template here, and now we can make our little marks on the sides. So right here you have that first little square. Let's go ahead and miter that like a tab. Okay, and then you have a rectangle. So let's cut in between those 2 squares and the rectangle. There we go. Now we want to miter both of those squares together. So just start inside the line here and go to the corner. Just like that. You see all the way up between both lines. There we go. So we're mitering the entire strip. And then we're going to miter this rectangle. So we'll take the little piece off there. Take the little piece off there. Alright, and then you want to cut straight up in between those. And let's go ahead and miter this tab. So you want to cut from inside the line just a little up to the corner. So you see inside the line just a little up to the corner. And then we're going to cut these 2 squares off. So if you'll turn your paper again so that the 5-inch side is facing you, we're going to miter that center rectangle too. So we'll just miter that and cut that whole section off at the same time. Alright, so let's do that again. This time from the other side, we're going to miter that center rectangle here. Turn our paper and miter the second set of squares. So we're cutting off this entire piece right here, okay? I'll come back and tidy that up just a little bit there. There we go. And then we're going to miter this a little more, so up to the corner. Let's straighten that up. And then we want to miter this rectangle just to the first line. So just like that. Now we can go up the side of the rectangles and then miter that tab all the way up to the second line. Just like so. Okay. So now you have your box base, looks something like that. Which when we turn this piece here, it looks the same. Okay. Let me get that out of the way here. Now because we're doing a box, of course, you want to make sure that you're burnishing all of your score lines. I like to cut before I burnish just because my score line is flat so that I can cut on it easier, but you can either burnish your lines first and then cut, or cut and then burnish, and either way is just fine. There we go. As you can see, we're going to be reinforcing that box a little bit. Oh, and I missed cutting that side. Alright, so if you didn't do that, if you were following me and you missed it too, we want to make sure and go back to that first little square right there. Not sure how I missed that, but okay. There we go. Alright, now let me burnish in here. One more line. There we go. Alright, so now you've got your box base cut, scored, burnished, ready to go. The side that we cut edges off of, that's your lid. Okay, so the side with more squares and rectangles, that's your base, and this is your lid. Alright, I'm going to apply a little bit of glue, and I'm using liquid glue because that's easier for me to use on my box. I'm just gonna spread a little glue on this tab and this tab and this tab and this tab. So all I'm putting glue on right now are those 4 long tabs. Alright, so now I want to line this edge and this edge together, just like so. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side. Just like that. You want your edges to be up against each other. That's an important part of making your box. And then we're going to push this tab in and this tab in, and then line them up edge to edge as well. Okay, just like so. Alright, so now you've got this flap, and this flap, and all 3 of these flaps are going to be glued and tucked over so that they reinforce the base of the box. In truth, if you wanted to, you could cut them off. You don't have to have a reinforced box for something small. But I liked it being reinforced, and you know, I'm just putting candy in this one right now, but if I wanted to put something like a bracelet or earrings or something a little more heavy duty, this would be great for that. Alright, so now I'm going to just push that flap in, and you can use your bone folder to really give it a good press. There we go. Give it a nice, good, even press. Get the edges tucked all the way in and really make the edges of the box nice and crisp. There we go. All right, now we're good. Okay, so now we're going to put a little glue on these two tabs and we'll make our lid. This is a really simple box, and you've seen me do it in various shapes and sizes, but it's basically the same box. Whenever you're making a box that the lid is already attached to it, it's a pretty standard box, but it's very nice. It can be good for all sorts of things. It's a really good go-to. I love it. Alright, so there we go. There's the box itself. You see it just folds over nice and easy. It's perfectly fit. And now we can go back and embellish. Alright, so I'm going to take my liquid glue and go all over the top of this Designer Series paper. Here we go. My lid. And I'm just gonna line it up right there. Okay. Now we've got that piece. Now we'll do the same thing all the way around the lid. There we go. Alright, let's close that up and we can do this side. There we go. No slipping and sliding now, mister. There. Perfect. Okay. And get the lid's ends done. And this box is almost ready to embellish already. See, it's really super, super simple box. And you know, you can make this any size you want. You know, Christmas is coming up soon. We all have birthdays to celebrate. You can make these little gift boxes to match any size. There we go. Whoop, don't slide now. There we go. Very good. Okay, now let's get this bugger decorated. So I'm going to take the mint macaron 1/2 inch piece and apply a little glue. Yeah, that was a little bit much on one end there. There we go. And I want it to just kind of line up with the edge of the DSP here. So somewhere about there. All right. And now we'll do a little bit of stamping, okay? So I'm going to get some of my vanilla scrap paper here. And I have found that it's easy to line up the images if you stamp the outline first. So let's move this over here and let's get the Cajun Craze and my scrap paper. All right. So I've got that beautiful maple leaf here, and the first thing that I want to do is just tap, 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 and then stamp straight down. Let's see, we can probably do some of these little holes here. I really like using my scrap paper for small things like this because, you know, I like saving my paper. So, oh, I really didn't need that many. I only needed one. Okay, and now you're going to want to stamp off this time. So what that means is you're inking it up, and then you're stamping on that scratch paper, and then you'll be able to see through the stamp just enough to stamp perfectly over the outline. Isn't that cool? You don't have to worry about coloring the image because this is like coloring it instantly. It's so much fun. It's like magically coloring inside the lines. And even as I say that, I got a little out of the lines on that one. That's okay because I only needed one. So there we go. Okay, now I'm going to use the Early Espresso and the Acorn outline. And I just need one of these as well. So let me just put it down here. All right, and then I'm gonna take crumb cake and the body of the acorn, tap, 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 nice and easy, and then stamp it off one time, line it up on the stamp. There we go, beautiful. And then we'll do the same thing with the cap and soft suede, except that we're not going to stamp off this time. This time we're just going to stamp it straight down. The soft suede really isn't that dark of a color, and it looks perfect when it's done straight. All right, so now we have our one little maple leaf and our one little acorn. And these beautiful punches are absolutely perfect because they do all of the heavy lifting for us. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? I love it. All right, let's get this maple leaf done. There we go. All right, now we've got that one and that one done. Now what we need to do, let me trim the edge of this right quick. There we go. All right, I have the sentiment, "Hey there," and this is also from the Beautiful Autumn, so it's right here, and it fits perfectly with the classic label punch. So we're just going to use that for our sentiment here. And the Early Espresso ink. So tap, tap, tap. All right, now I don't want to punch all the way to the corner. I want this side to be flat. So I'm going to go a little bit to the left and try to line this up even. There we go, not too bad. And then bring in that classic label punch. And now we're going to line it up closer to the left. There we go, perfect. All right, so now I want to put my sentiment on dimensionals. So I'll get some of the minis. They're absolutely perfect for the classic label. Here. And I want to line it up closer to this edge. So I just want a similar border all the way around. There we go. And then I'm going to put a touch of liquid glue right here on this side. And that's where I'm going to put my beautiful little maple leaf. Just like so. And then I'm going to take another one of those dimensionals and put it right about the middle of my acorn. And put him just like so. All right, there we go. Super, super cute, isn't it? All right, now let's put our Kit Kats in there. They fit perfectly. And this would be a fabulous little treat for anyone that you know. Leave them with your doctors, give them to your children's teachers. You know what? Put them in your kid's little lunchbox just to say, hey, you know, your husband's work box, whatever. These are a great, fun little gift for anybody, right? Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Now remember, folks, if you don't already have the beautiful autumn bundle, you can order it on my website, danasullivan.stampinup.net, and I will email you a PDF tutorial for the little punch holder so that you have something cute to put your punches in. It's a lot of fun. It's super simple. You're gonna love it, and it makes them look absolutely adorable. All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to visit my blog for the measurements for this project, as well as other projects and all sorts of fun ideas over there. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.